Sagittarius, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late July 2024. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Sagittarius collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going, my guides. Talk to me. What do we got for these Saggies here? In late July. It is the beginning of Leo season, one of our fellow fire signs. What energies, messages, insights can we have a look here? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card, then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean in on, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Saggy in late July, please. What's happening with my good friends? Guides and spirit team. Okay, the deck is being pretty particular now. There we go. Okay, so there is a little complexity, and I've been seeing this card starting to show its face throughout a lot of the zodiac in recent weeks, so it might be your turn here. Now this, I don't necessarily say that this is a card that's like something we need to watch out for, but I just feel like it's very complex and there's a lot going on here. Okay, so whether that's something you're feeling or something you're dealing with, there's a simplicity to it, but there's a complexity as well. So we'll talk about that in a moment. Before we do, though, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the July subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk more about this card. So if we look at the imagery here, we see this lovely lady looking in a mirror. She's obviously holding a mask. Now there's multiple mirrors, multiple reflections. There's the Russian babushka dolls right there on the dresser, various items. So when I see this, I feel like there's a lot going on and there's a complexity to it. So for some Saggies out there, maybe there's a situation you're dealing with where it's like, all right, well, normally this is very simple. Normally this is very cut and dry. But underneath the surface, the wheels are turning. There's a lot more moving parts than people would think. This could represent complex emotions, complex feelings as well. And for a portion of you, it could just be a lot of energies affecting you, right? Like it could be as simple as that. So in this time, just maybe try to keep yourself grounded and at a nice baseline, because there could be a lot of people coming at you. There could be a lot of situations popping up, or just situations that are affecting you in various different ways. So it just feels like it's a lot. So we're going to put that down right there. And remember, if that's not you, it could be someone you're connected to. Yeah, let's just leave it at that. Let's get into tarot. And I always say the first card here doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. Let's get you 3 cards in the upright, then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up here one time for my Saggies, please. And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading, my friends. I would say it was one of the more fine-tuned or like straight to the point type of readings, because there was something that I feel like a lot of Saggies might have been dealing with, but a lot of you might not have been. The reading was titled A Big Power Struggle. And to me, there was an energy of opposing forces, 2 strong opposing forces. Now, that was very, very particular. Again, so maybe you were watching your other alignments last week, but to me, it felt like, all right, one powerful energy versus another. Okay, so hopefully you're not dealing with anything that's too involved with things like that. But let's see what shows up for you this week. As you know, energy is very fluid. It's never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be looking at your vibe or someone else. Let's get your 3 cards here. What do we have for my Saggies in late July? Pardon me. What do we have? Thank you. Okay. Another grounded energy here. We have the King of Pentacles. That could be very good. A lot of you, that could be a nice pentacle focus, money focus, business related. I do like it. It feels firm. And that kind of links with a vibe I was picking up last week as well. There's just a very firm type of energy. Like, no, this is set. This is set. Okay, we have Lady Justice. So now the karmic energy is coming your way. It spent a couple weeks over by the Leos. Now it looks like it's your turn. We'll talk about that. Lady Justice doesn't always have to be a challenge. Let's get you one more. What do we have here for my Saggies, please? Thank you. And the Hierophant, again, this is one of the cards that showed up last week. So there is a strong earthy type of energy here. Okay, and I just want to say we're already getting little undertones that were similar to last week's. Okay, so we'll look at it. There's a different flavor this week, though. So let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, and we'll get into that juicy, intuitive stuff. So at first glance, I am seeing a couple of intriguing patterns here. Notice on the split ends, we have the Hierophant, we have the King of Pentacles. Both are earthy energies, both are solid, both are set. We have this judicious Lady Justice in the center, which does speak about balance, but again, there's like opposition here. There's opposition in one way or another. Now, they can be good, right? But we're going to need to look into them a lot further, because this energy feels set in its ways. This one feels set in its ways. And from what I know about Sagittarius energy, it's a mutable sign. Like Sagittarius are very good at rolling with the punches, going with the flow. Okay, so for a lot of you, this could just be stuff happening around you, right? Like, let's go through piece by piece and really start to build this out, though. So position number one, and we're going to see a lot of similar themes. We have the King of Pentacles. Now, in the positive, this is lovely. For a big portion of you, there might be a lot of money things on the mind, a lot of business things you're going through, career, all that stuff. Now, you could be putting a lot of your focus on that, like making that money. There's just a big focus on the material when this is in the mix. Now, if you're not connected to an earth sign, which is Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus, to me, this is filled with blessings. It's filled with abundance. It's filled with wins when we're talking about it in its most positive sense. But when we get to the challenging aspects, because remember, every card has positive and challenge. A challenge of the King of Pentacles is that it's either really, really set in its ways and stubborn, or it could be something that is extremely unpredictable, depending, like, because with this King of Pentacles in reverse, you never know what you're going to get type of energy. So we'll want to look at this a little further when we get to it. For some of you, again, this could just represent a person, and kings are about control. Same could be said with this Hierophant on the back end. So it's like they're kind of facing off. One is much stronger than the other, though. Okay, like even though they're similar, one is much more stronger, and it's like, oh yeah, this is the clear choice. Moving to the center, we have Lady Justice. Now, I always say she comes up for a lot of different reasons. This is Libra energy, so you might be connected to one, but if that is not the case, you see her there. She's fair, she's balanced. For some of you, might be making a choice or a decision about something, really thinking something over, mulling it over, the positives, the challenges. If you're dealing with a problem or a situation in this time, maybe you might want to actually list out the pros and cons when Lady Justice is here, because it is about fairness. She could show up with legal situations as well, contractual situations. So if you're putting your name on anything, be very careful about this. But the biggest thing with Lady Justice, aside from everything we spoke about, is she is the biggest karmic card. You reap what you sow. What you put forth, you get back in return. Okay, so some of you, whether you're going through karmic shifts, karmic changes, or this is just the hand of the universe in whatever situation you're going through, it's showing up here in a big way. So we'll want to look at it further. And it's intriguing that, like, she's here in the center making a decision, and we have like these options. So we'll talk about it more. Now, getting to the very back end, as we get Lady Justice right back in her spot next to that King of Pentacles, we have the Hierophant. Visiting us again, just like last week. So again, I will say this is a very complex card. One of the more complex ones in the whole entire tarot deck. This could represent governments. It could represent power structures. It could represent corporations. This is one of my cards of day-to-day life. This is a very long-term type of energy. This is not short-term. So if you're watching this for connections and relationships, this is one that either you are in or have been in for quite a while, or one that might have that possibility, because this is one of the marriage cards as well. But we're not going to fully jump into that. In other aspects, aside from power structures, again, this is within the box. It's not thinking outside of the box. That's why I'm saying for a lot of you, whatever this situation is or whatever is going on in this spread might not be yours, because Sagittarius energy is very adaptable. When you run into a problem or a brick wall, you find a way around it or over it. These energies I'm seeing are just like very, very set. Okay, that's just how it's showing up. And again, we could just be talking about your routine, your day-to-day life. In the positive sense, this is a card of stability, and same could be said with this King of Pentacles. But when we get to the challenge, very similar, this Hierophant in reverse, it could represent someone that's either very, very stubborn or extremely unpredictable. So we're just going to leave it at that for now. I want to dive deeper on all of it. Let's jump in and clarify. Yeah, and I think last week it was like the Hierophant versus the Emperor. Like we had this standoff of some sort. But yeah, let's see what we have. And I'm just gonna, this is where I like to get intuitive, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that King of Pentacles. And yes, if you're a reader as well, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is over here. If you're feeling any messages you want to get to Saggy, you can drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, King of Pentacles, what's happening? Again, for some of you, there just might be a huge focus on the material, right? Like the world, money, work, home, all that good stuff. But why is the King of Pentacles here? Why is that King of Pentacles here? Very particular. Okay, 9 of Wands in reverse. All right, this could really be a result that you're looking for here. Okay, there could be some, all right, I don't want to say this and sound creepy, okay, because this could be somebody that's just waiting for the right time to make a move. That's just how this feels to me. With the 9 of Wands in reverse, it's like, no, I'm good. I'll wait until the time is right. I'm going to wait for the perfect timing. So again, this could be someone about to make a move or take a big action. That's one thing I'm seeing here. And I feel like I may have seen things like that for you in recent weeks. But I like how this energy feels on the front end, because this is where this adaptability comes in. So let's talk about it a little bit. The 9 of Wands in the upright, the wounded warrior, if it was in the upright, could represent somebody that's blocked. There's problems. There's issues. There's someone that has their guard up. Sometimes it could even speak about rejection or not even talking. So when it shows up in reverse underneath this King of Pentacles, it's like, I'm going to wait for the right time. I'm waiting for the perfect time before I make my move or take an action. Okay, so whether that's you, whether you're being more patient in regards to something, more patient in regards to a situation, or this is somebody else, it's like I'm waiting for my opening. It's like giving me that type of vibe. And it's very simple, and I'm not going to overcomplicate it. And for a lot of you, this could represent a win, that's for sure. Like with the King of Pentacles, 9 of Wands, it's like, okay, we have finally overcome something. Like we're finally reaching the promised land. I like it. So for some of you, that could be a nice win or an increase monetarily. Let's go in on Lady Justice. Let's go in on Lady Justice here. See what she has for my Saggies. Why is Lady Justice here? Thank you. Beautiful. I like this. All right, so I was speculating a little bit, and I was a little concerned that we were picking up energies that we saw last week, but now I'm starting to see things free up, a little different than what we saw last week, where like last week it was like we're facing off, we're bumping heads. This one feels like there's a softer touch. Now let's talk about the Knight of Cups in the upright underneath Lady Justice is really good. This could talk about emotional balance. For a lot of you, if you're watching this in regards to love, this is a good sign. It's a very positive omen. But to me, this is the karmic wheel turning, because again, knights are about action. They're also communicators. So this action that I was seeing, somebody waiting on the right time, waiting for the stars to align. I don't want to speak too grandiose here, but that's kind of how it feels. It's like, okay, I'm waiting for the right time. It's open, let's go. It's like, give me that kind of vibe. So like if there's something you're being patient about, or something you have been being patient about, when the time is right, you know when you have to make a move. I don't know why this impending action is continuing to show up, but the Knight of Cups does tell me it's good. This could be someone with their heart in the right place, their mind in the right place, and I feel like it's nice. This isn't harsh karmic energy. Okay, this is for the better. Let's keep moving forward to the Hierophant, because I'm liking what I'm seeing so far, especially in regards to people making moves. But I want to see what the Hierophant has to say, because it's like the energy's moving. We're still moving. What's going to happen when we get to this Hierophant? Okay. Then we'll do the recap. So why is the Hierophant here? Okay, thank you. Judgment. Yeah. Explosive action and change right here on the back end. Okay, if there is any energy that can make this Hierophant budge, it's judgment. Okay, so I will say this, for a lot of Saggies, you could feel like you're at a crossroads, especially when we have Lady Justice and Judgment. They could all be about taking the right path or making the right move. So I like what I'm picking up here. And this is the complete yin to the yang of the Hierophant, because Judgment, sometimes it can represent things returning, things swinging back around. So that's possible for a portion of you. Like whether it's situations or individuals, there could be things like circling back here. But a big vibe I'm picking up underneath this Hierophant, it's either explosive action where it's like, oh, I'm waiting, I'm moving, now it's full go. It like picks up very slow and steady, but once it catches steam, it's like breakthrough type of energy here on the back end. Something is picking up a lot of steam, okay, and it's going to snowball. It's going to get more intense. Okay, so that's the energy that's showing up around you. So there is something big coming. But yeah, with Judgment, the Plutonian change-based aspect of it underneath this Hierophant, which talks about day-to-day life, I feel for a lot of you, this is either explosive change that's been coming for a long time. Something's been building up for a long time, and then boom, here comes this explosive change or action. Okay, but I feel like the action started back here. This could be good. And again, if we were getting a lot of rough cards, challenging cards on the bottom, I wouldn't be as hopeful, but I feel for a lot of you, even if it doesn't feel like it right now, luck is on your side. The universe is on your side here. Something is changing for the better. So let's go through and do a quick recap here, Saggy, because I feel like your reading's a little more complex than the other ones I've done this week so far. But if you kindly look in the box, position number 1, we have the King of Pentacles with the 9 of Wands in reverse. So again, I will say this to me felt like somebody laying in wait, waiting on the right time to make a move or take an action, waiting for the stars to align, so to speak. Overcoming a problem. This is a win, but again, it's someone making the first steps, taking the first moves. Into the center, it continues. We have Lady Justice with the Knight of Cups, and now this feels really good to me. It's someone continuing to make moves and take action. Okay, so it like starts here, boom, now it's starting to pick up steam. So this is the snowballing effect of the energy that I've been picking up throughout the whole thing. So just know, like, even if something's starting slow, even if it's not moving as fast as you would like it, eventually we're going to reach the crescendo back here, because we have the Hierophant, day-to-day life, a little rigid, a little set in its ways, with Judgment, completely change-based. So again, whether this is an explosive change in whatever situation you're going through, or even a breakthrough, and to me, it feels like something that's been building up for a long time. Okay, so it's showing up, it's powerful. Yeah, please take a screenshot if you'd like, Saggy. I like it for the most part, but let's see. Sometimes change could be a little rough to deal with, but I like what I'm seeing. Well, yeah, let's get into the shadow card. And yes, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be real nice, pretending, right? Oh, and yes, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll leave a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get this shadow card out here for Saggy, please. What do we got? Thank you. All right, King of Wands. So again, this card does revolve around action, but since you are a fire sign, this could be other things as well. Now, the King of Wands is, again, about control. I believe he showed up in the reading last week as well. So we do have like all these aspects of like things that are like locked down or a little bit in control. But again, you're a fire sign if you're not a cross watcher. The King of Wands could just be representing like how you view yourself and the actions you take. This is a big card of not wasting your energy on things, putting your energy and time and focus into things that will actually push things forward. So in this time, don't waste your attention on things that don't really contribute to you and your mission. For some of you, I feel like you need to hear that. Be confident in yourself as well. But the King of Wands is also an energy that can understand that sometimes there's things that are out of our hands. Right? Sometimes there's only so much we can control, and some things are always going to be out of our hands. So I don't necessarily feel like it's bad. For a lot of you, be kind to yourself. Okay, be loving to yourself. Treat yourself with a sense of care and grace. All right. So Saggy, that's what I have for you this week, my beautiful friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the July subscriber surprise. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can check out my digital calendar at my website, mastermetaphysics.com. The link is down below. But for the July subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 2 copies of another one of my favorite decks, the Wizard's Tarot. Absolutely beautiful and works great. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed. And second, since I have the travel bug lately, let me know down in the comments what is the most beautiful place you visited in person. You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.